man.
Oh yeah, that's way better, man. I feel love now, man.
Wavy Davy.
I feel love now, man. I feel like my DJ cares about me, man. Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Legendary.
We here, man.
Salt. Saute. Shout out to Hokage.
Yeah.
Rolling with my ninjas and my tribe, we beat a body.
What up?
Saute. Shout out to Hokage.
Yeah.
Rolling with my ninjas and my tribe, we beat a body. Saute. Shout out to Hokage. Rolling with my ninjas and my tribe, we beat a body. Saute. Shout out to Hokage.
Hey, welcome to the S.A.L.T Society podcast, man. Episode 8. It's January 9th, 2019. It's your boy Yali. I got my boy DJ Connect on the ones and twos. I got my boy J Nice, the Kingdom Builder, in the building. Drop bombs for the S.A.L.T Society podcast.
Ooh.
Listen to me. You are now tuned in to the greatest podcast ever. If you're listening to this right now, I want you to share, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it, because we not stopping. All 2019.
It's a rolling non-stop punch.
We on that time. And just for your reminder, we will be releasing this on Friday. It will be available. You'll see the YouTube on Mondays, so you know what the plan is.
YouTube.
So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Listen, 2019, first week of the year.
Okay.
We got a lot of topics. Where's my phone? This ain't my phone. Oh, this is my phone.
Yeah, y'all can say this ain't my phone and the light came on. It's him and his daughter. Yo, what's Connect doing over here, bro? His home screen is you and your little girl.
Oh, bro. We all got the same phone. I think we all got a Galaxy S8.
Idolatry. Yeah, I do
we
too.
We all got the same phones. I'm like, yo, this ain't my phone.
Yo, shout out to
Listen,
Samsung. Y'all need to sponsor us. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? We
facts.
guardians of the galaxy over
S.A.L.T
here.
Society. Listen,
Apple's the devil.
We'll read all the ads you need us to read.
For real.
Listen, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, the Jasmine Barnes shooting.
I don't know about this. I was gonna tell me about this. I saw. So this is what the march was, right?
Let's get into it. Yeah. So you said there was a march?
Yeah. In Houston, they had like a whole thing with Willie D and Gifted and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the Jasmine Barnes shooting, man, and to not get too deep in the details, it's been in the news, nonstop. You can pull it up to get the details, but basically there was a shooting. There was someone who shot into a vehicle. It was a mother and her children. She was shot. I believe someone else in the car is hit, but the young lady that was hit, Jasmine Barnes, she was hit and she was killed. Basically the eyewitness accounts, they looked over and literally saw, the young princess shot in the head, bro. Like, can you imagine? You there, 7 years old.
No.
And so, there was some confusion that arose after that because there was the witnesses. There's a lot of shooting happening. People see things they may not have not saw. So there was a red truck that just happened to be, driving away from the scene at the exact moment.
Right.
And the way it all played out, it was perceived that it was a white man that had did the shooting.
Right.
But come to find out, it was not a white man. It was two men, Eric Black Jr. and Larry Woodruffle. They actually ended up coming forth, or however it came forth. They were the two that did the shooting. And come to find out, it was about gang violence, a case of mistaken identity.
So where did it come?
How do you
dude with the red truck dude? Like, where did he come from?
So it was just from what I read when I read the story. Basically, it was kind of like the guys came up, did the shooting, and then there was it was timing. It was like that truck just happened to be driving by or whatever.
So he didn't even know what was going on.
Right. That's what they're looking for, this white man. Like, he probably didn't even know whoever was in the red truck that they
so
were.
They automatically assumed and they started a protest and all that.
Protest, and that's what I want.
It's always the white man, huh?
Yes. I mean, I don't want to even laugh at it. You know what I'm saying?
You so stupid. Yo, it's not. The situation is not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny. That was a nervous laugh, really. Because
but how do you mistake a 7-year-old for I mean, like,
Well, I guess
obviously they were looking for somebody
Yeah,
that
the
was...
car. It was probably the vehicle. I don't know what.
And the vehicle skirted off, so
I don't
everybody was
know.
like, "Why
I
did
don't
they leave?"
honestly. I don't understand. I don't know. You know, I don't care how they try to place it. I don't understand the logic. Like, let's just deal with it out the gate. Like, if you can't handle your beef, hands up. Like, just like Pop said on Friday. You know what I'm saying? You win some,
You lose some.
but you live to fight another day. Like, straight up, man. Like, we gotta stand up. These youngers out here is wilding, cuz like we need some more OGs. We need some more elders. We need more godly. We need manhood restored. Because, man, if you really got something that's worth, like, to be honest, I'm about to be 30 in July. Like, it's not too much that's gonna move me where I feel like I gotta box somebody. Like, you can call me out my name. You can say whatever you know what I'm saying? Unless you put your hands, like, on my wife or
Your
my
family.
children or something like that, I ain't got time, bro. I ain't got time to be busting my knuckles up and possibly getting an assault charge.
I got work in the morning.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I might, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta get that bread. Gotta get that bread.
Or worse, mess around and catch you and you fall, hit your head on the curb,
Right.
crack your skull,
Right.
and now I got attempted murder charge.
Right, involuntary manslaughter.
Come on, man. Like, it's really not that serious.
Why is this drawing of a white dude look like me?
Oh,
Bro,
my
it's
gosh,
Connect with a hoodie
bro.
on.
Bro.
That's racist.
This dude. But nah, for real though, like that is the issue, because it's like mistaken identity. So you telling me you just saw a random car that you thought was somebody else and you just started busting off? You ain't even verify?
I mean, why? I mean, yeah, verify, but it's not even. Man, it just kills me. Like, innocent people in the crosshairs of ignorance.
Of ignorance, and
And
you
I'm
know,
not-
it's the toxicity of gang culture. And you from New York, bro? Like you grew up in Brooklyn. You seen it. Like, what is it about?
And that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I'm not at all excusing the behavior of the
Facts.
whole situation. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think something that we are privileged to not understand is the fact that it's wartime in a lot of these cities.
Facts,
It's
bro.
not a situation to where they have the time to, like, you're terrorized. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you live next door to the terrorists, you don't think, oh, let me make sure to verify that this is the right vehicle. You like, this may be my only opportunity to clear this anxiety I have from this one person who wants to kill me. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't have like the freedom. Like, people take for granted, bro, like a lot of times that you can wave at your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up in a city where that was common. You know what I'm saying? Or where that was like a normal thing. That was a sign of disrespect. Like, if you waving at somebody, you waving like saying, you soft, I know I can greet you.
Wow.
So imagine like living in, you know what I mean? Because like, think about this, right? So like, we from Texas, and like we're in Killeen right now, but like Cedar Park, Texas, right? A city about the size of Cedar Park, Texas, with over 7 million people in it, all living on top of each other, all stacked on top of each other, and every single day you seeing somebody who's considered an enemy. And every time you see somebody, your life is at risk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not excusing the behavior of it. I'm saying I understand the psychology of it. I understand
Kill
the
or
thought
be
process.
killed.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You're trying to survive, bro. Like, if you think about anything, like I heard this the other day too, like, whenever we see like movies about aliens, like every science fiction movie, the aliens are bad guys when they come. And so America's immediate thing is get all your weapons just in case they act crazy. Like, we never think like, oh, the aliens may be cool. Like, they're just coming down to say what's up and see our customs. We immediately think this is a threat. You know what I mean? So if you live in a highly populated neighborhood and community where you're constantly seeing violence and you're constantly seeing people get robbed, and they're getting robbed because they're impoverished, not because they think it's fun. You're constantly seeing people's houses get broken into, not because they want to be criminals, but because I got to find a way to feed my child tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think you're at war all the time.
It's like, I don't know, I know when I grew up, it was like a border between Brown Pride, LVL, La Victoria, and then also you got the Crips.
OG Crips.
You got the Crips on the one side and everything, and it's crazy. Like, you know, I went to war a couple times, you know, and go back to the hood, and my buddy gets shot coming back from Iraq, like in the hood, like this. It's like this shouldn't be happening. Like, it's crazy.
The reason I wanted to, and I'm glad y'all shared it, because it's like I wanted to highlight this is the toxicity of gang culture that needs to be corrected, and a lot of it, like I could get deeper into it of really, I believe it's an outgrowth of an identity crisis. But I want to challenge those who may be watching right now. You might be listening and you might be familiar. You may even, you may have came from a place where you understand gang culture, but you don't excuse it. I feel like the fact that we're able to unite and organize and do all these things for negative, if we could just transmute that energy into doing good for our communities.
Well, that's the thing, bro. It's like if you want to be historically accurate, you know what I'm saying? The most popular gang
that's
that
where
we're
it started.
aware of
That's how it started.
is the Crips, and that was their intent.
That was the
intent.
intent.
To police and to feed and to take care of a community that was impoverished.
Hey, rest in peace to Tookie Williams. Like,
hey, for real.
The story has been twisted, man, and he said a lot of stuff before he passed while he was in prison. His heart was, this was not it. If you watching right now, you gang banging blue, you gang banging red, whatever it is, man, stop it, man. Y'all dying over color, really?
Yeah, it's also the a piece of street that you don't even own.
That you don't even own.
Piece of property.
No equity.
If you go down this street, you better not wave this flag.
What are we dying over?
Yeah.
What are we really dying over? Like, there's a real spiritual war going on, and they got us killing off ourselves.
You got them high. You got them doing whatever, and it's kind of crazy. Like,
so that leads to the other part I wanted to talk about. A couple more, like, we touched on the gang culture, and even the, really, like I said, the black community, we really suffer from identity crisis, and that you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? But what if I hate myself? My capacity to love my neighbor is inept. Matter of fact, my capacity to love God, based on what Scripture says, if I had to love God and love my neighbor as I love myself, well, when I look in that mirror and I'm an image bearer, when I look at the Imago Dei, but I hate that, and I'm bearing the image and not just image and likeness, meaning I'm made in His image, but likeness means I have the capabilities and characteristics of God because He equipped me to have dominion in the earth. So if I look in the mirror and hate that, and hate the beauty of what that means, I already hate God.
Isn't that what the enemy or the enemy's trying to get you to hate yourself?
Yeah.
For one, and then on top of that, like, if we'll say politicians, if they have that power over you, saying like you have to be a certain way, or you fall into that category, you get into that trap,
right?
And you always, like, for instance, I mean, let's be real, like African American cultures in urban environments primarily vote Democrat. But why do they vote Democrat?
Yeah, because
they get the free phone.
Used to.
So stupid.
You know what I'm saying? But you're saying,
For
like,
real, though.
but you get stuck in that
Yeah.
but and the biggest thing is, okay, you learn what you're taught, but are you taught correctly?
Facts.
And when was it twisted? Because back in the day, Democrats were the ones that were trying to keep the black suppressed because they were the ones keeping they wanted all the money from the slavery trade. They wanted cotton.
It was the Republican Party that initially freed the slaves and fought for the freedom of the slaves.
And people forget that.
What happened a lot of the time is with politics too, as the culture shifted and as time shifted, the Democratic Party became quote unquote known as the party that would defend like the impoverished and the elderly and stuff of that nature. And that's why a lot of people who are of color and minority were taught when we were younger, like, hey, vote for, you know what I'm saying, the Democratic Party, especially because the Democratic Party, once voting was allowed to us, was one of the few parties that was actually trying to help us get registered to vote. Yeah. And that's why a lot of people cling to that. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Let's
fast forward to 2019.
Well, that's the point that I was getting to.
Who are they trying to register to vote right now?
Who? The Democratic Party, you mean?
To get more votes for them.
Yeah.
Because they're beginning to lose the black traditional vote.
Right. So now who are they going at? The Hispanics?
The immigrants that are coming over the border. So,
yeah.
and it's...
Well, and I think that's it, because
all these dead people that are voted last time.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden just showed up. I'm like...
Well, that talks about what happens, though, is a lot of times we get caught in a generational spiral, almost. A generational cycle, because... I'm not, like, I know for myself, right? Like, I'm going through things right now, like, for the first time at, in my early 30s, that I'm having to purchase things I never had to buy before. I'm having to understand insurance I never had to buy before. And I literally am just like, hey, Mom, what'd you do?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's
Yeah.
right or wrong. None of this
Yeah.
stuff, none of this vocabulary, none of this acronyms make sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go with what my parents did because I know they survived it.
Yeah.
And
So
that-
even if
and
it's
that's okay.
negative for me, sometimes we run to what's familiar,
Yeah.
not beneficial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
And that's the same
that's
thing
the
with
same thing with gang culture.
that's the same thing with the white. They say that white rural typically votes Republican.
Right.
But I mean, it just depends. Like for me, I'm registered Republican, but I really try to research and look at because, like for instance, the state of Texas, the state of Texas, the way their school system set up is really different than a lot of other places, and each school district is their own governing body.
Right.
So if you don't pay attention, their school district is going to be ran by somebody that don't have no care about education,
Exactly.
but financial gain.
Exactly.
So if you Republicans are generally known for business people, but not. I don't want business related to my education. I want them to actually be educated.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the history of the church too, like that's what would happen. We would just historically, humans as a whole, we don't care about things. We care about the power that can be gained from attaining
Yeah.
things. And so even in the Roman Catholic Church, like at first it started with Peter being the head and people who were assigned because of their
Yeah.
spiritual belief. But then we're like, yo, there's power in that?
Yeah,
I want that position.
Well, the church became pagan,
Yeah.
basically because the popes were bought and stuff, and
And that's
a
you
whole
know,
nother
that's a
subject.
whole nother
Look, we
subject,
just
but-
jumped from gang
Yeah.
violence
Yeah.
to politics to
Yeah.
religion.
But I was telling you, I was saying like the church also their pockets are filled by different, we'll say, public entities
Yeah.
that gain favor from that, and
Yeah.
we've seen some of these mega churches influence a lot of people to do certain things that not necessarily what are taught biblically or
Yeah.
should be best politician wise for that set group.
So
you know?
can we
That's the
agree on
fact.
this? No,
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, and basically the last point I wanted to make is, you know, with encompassing all of those things, we have to stop jumping to conclusions
Right.
and being so eager,
Yeah.
eager to make everything about black and white.
That's
Right.
that's what sums up everything. Yeah.
We can't, like, it is not that simple, because I'm gonna tell you, listen, in the revelation of what God is about to reveal in the earth, like, people gonna find out it ain't black white. It's this is a spiritual thing, like, for real. But that's we're not gonna get into that. But we have to stop. We have to cut it out. Like, this is a prime example of how quickly we will try to, like, I had a line before, I was like, it's crazy how we unite to fight but don't fight at all. Like,
Right.
we'll unite and march and do it, but what do we really accomplish? What do we really do? How do we really change the everyday reality? We go right back to the hood, right back to the suburbs, like right back to wherever we live, and we don't do nothing different. We're not teaching our children anything different. It's evident. Generation after generation after generation, we continue to repeat the same cycles, but then we want to blame everybody else outside of the community as why our condition is what it is.
Yeah.
We have to wake up as a people, and we gonna dig on that more. But before we get into that, you know what I'm saying, we gonna lighten up the mood. I know that was heavy. Can we just get a little laughter, a little explosion, a little something, right? We just gotta get it off our back. But we really had to deal with that. Again, rest in peace to the Princess Jasmine Barnes. Shout out to Sean King. He was really instrumental in helping the justice be found. You know what I'm saying? He somebody came to him, a witness came to Sean King and gave a name of who it was. He reported it to the sheriff's office, and I believe it was like 3 or 4 days they caught who did it. So praise God for justice, but we do need change in our inner cities, change in our black communities. We need change as a whole. We need healing to the land of America. We need unity, UINTY. Community is common unity. We really need to come together and pull our resources. We need to stop seeing black and white. Not that those things do not matter. Like I'm not saying, like, the white people need to help white people. Yes. Black people need to help black people. Yes.
So white people
Hispanic
help
people
white
need to help
people.
Hispanic people. They're already doing it. It's really kind of just the black community that doesn't seem to want to help ourselves. But yet we will.
If I help a white person, I'm racist.
Right, but yet we'll unite though over Black Panther and do $1 billion in less than a month.
Bruh.
Like that is an
How do you do that?
indictment.
Wakanda.
And then Disney got all that money.
Bro, that is an indictment on our community. Like, if we can, bro, you know how easy it is for us to, if we really were united, for us to say, hey, we need $1 million to go buy this land and this school right here so we can have our, hey, we need, let's go buy this hospital right here.
Bro, like, this is a thought that I've been on lately, and it don't even have to do with that. Like, if you look at every people group, they have a skill set that helps them to acquiesce. Like, and if you watch the African American people, bro, what we don't realize that our gold is our culture.
Facts.
We create culture.
Woo.
If we understood the power that we have in every art form that dictates the culture for every nation in the world.
You know why though, bro? You know why? And what is the main vehicle of that? Music, right?
For sure.
Music.
For
you know
sure.
why? That is again a clue to who we are. Judah.
Okay.
Wow, we're getting there.
Oh, so now we get to the Christian part of the podcast.
We're going there.
That's all I'm gonna say. Judah.
I think also.
Judah.
I think also that
Judah's the praisers. Judah's the dancers. Judah is the
music
spirit, boy.
Music is very important.
Man, boy.
Music is very important.
Yeah.
But also, I think there's too many rappers, and there needs to be.
But it's not just music though. It's culture as
It's
a whole.
culture as
Like
a
we
whole,
create everything that is deemed to be cool.
Facts.
Like even our body image, which would been made fun of centuries ago, is now the ideal size and shape for a woman.
Yeah.
Like if we realize,
but yet we don't want it,
bro. Exactly. And if we realize how much power it is in creating culture,
Bruh,
like that's why we have the term now. We have the term now.
Everybody else want hips and hips. Yo, I seen a video, bro.
Wasn't it Kardashians?
Dude was in China, bro. Dude was in China. They took his hair from looking like Connect's hair, bro. So they did something with it. They like twisted it up and did something, bro. And at the end of it, he had an afro, bro.
Bro, but that's the thing is we haven't realized how to turn that into power and influence.
Yeah.
We've realized how to create it, and then every other culture looks at it and goes, yo, that's dope. We'll take it on, and they make it acceptable.
Because we don't see inherent value.
Well, that's the thing is that...
It's been going on since rock and roll.
But you know what I'm saying? We don't see inherent value in ourselves, though. That's what I'm saying. So I could be the most gifted, skilled, everything right now, but if I don't look and see value in those things, if I got all of this and I'm still like, who can I go to put me on? Who can sign me?
Yeah.
Who can
I call it the OJ syndrome.
Yeah.
Because you know how OJ said he's
OJ,
like, I'm not black.
I'm black. I'm OJ.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If once in the black culture more that I see is once somebody makes it, quote unquote,
right,
they don't return to educate that person or that culture or that neighborhood or
but
what.
other
I'm not saying not everybody because there's a lot of influencers that go back.
Facts, bro.
But and that's one thing. One reason why I like LeBron James
it's okay.
is
You can
because
say
LeBron.
even though you're white, you can say
Shout out to LeBron.
LeBron, I mean, he made a full school. I mean, people give him a hard time, but literally, he's going to affect generations.
Like not only did he make a school, he provided their transportation there
free.
and gave their parents jobs.
And on that note too,
they want to talk about education,
all you
but
want
he's
to
doing
hate
it.
and say, "Oh, it's a public school."
No,
listen,
but
man,
you can still donate to a public school.
Man, that dude, he got all his shoes he ever wore up in that joint, bro.
Yeah.
Like
not just that, bro. He did it in America. We got a lot of people who are doing it in foreign, like Oprah's doing it in foreign countries, and
Lil Jon's doing it in Africa.
Right, yo, LeBron did it in his community that he grew up in and gave and impacted back. But the point I was getting to though before we stopped and got kind of derailed is perfect example. When Connect said a minute ago is like we got too many rappers. That's the problem. Yeah, I'll look at Calvin and be like, so what? I can do that. So I don't see the value in it. Because all of us have this. Like, think about if everybody had gold loses its value.
Facts.
So the reason that it's like
That's good. That's
good.
Bro.
So
that's good.
We all have this
That's
ability to create culture inside of us, so we don't value it when we see it in our brother or sister. But when it's taken to a different community, perfect example. I thought about this the other day, bro. All the homeboys we got that married Hispanic girls, they're Hispanic girls when they get married. treat them like, yo, they're amazing. And then the family's like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then that family supports that young black brother.
Mm-hmm.
The black boy who marries the black girl and stays in the black family, like, oh, y'all think y'all better than us. Like, y'all think y'all, when a come up happens. But it's because we're all that gifted. You know what I'm saying? So if you take a plant, like the rose from the concrete, when you see a rose anywhere, you're like, oh, that's just a rose. But if you see the rose springing from the concrete, you understand that the value should not have been there.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
like, when it comes to culture and all that, like, just different things, like, I've learned from, like, being around a lot of different people. And shout out to my big homie. His name is O-Head out of Tennessee. But that was one of the things he told me, like, when I first got married, and was like, yo, one of the things that God is doing is going to allow you to realize that everything ain't racist. Because you're going to be in a household with white people where you're hearing their heart 24/7. And you're
that's
going to realize
fact, man.
they're not
That's a
all
fact.
racist.
If you, I want to say, and we're gonna close. We're gonna.
Now, a lot of them are racist, though.
Yeah. Hey, listen,
Only from Tennessee.
we know racism exists. It just isn't a fact. But what we're saying is we're not victims no more. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the victim. But
So you gonna wear a MAGA hat?
No, sir.
Yo, you sound like Kanye Martin over here right now.
It's Yali, bro. It's Yali.
My bad,
It's Yali. Hey, but
My bad.
For
What
real,
I'm
we
saying
about
is
to cut.
that-
No, but we about to cut to the song of the week right now, real quick, and we're gonna get back into it. We got a lot more to talk about, but that is facts. I want to end it on this note at what he just said. If you're black and you don't got a friend of another race, get you a white friend. Get you a no, for real though. because I would say unequivocally that having DJ Connect as one of my best friends, you know, there's certain things that, like, even if I wanted to believe the lie that all white people are evil, and having just one person that contradicts that thought in your head, it forces you to deal with the real underlying why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel this? You have to now. You got to deal with yourself. Now you got to really explore why do you feel that.
So
And
all
Same
black
with the
people,
white person. You got to get yourself a friend of different colors.
real talk.
So all black people right now, I want you to go to your local Whole Foods, pick up your quickest Caucasian, and make a friend. Walk into Starbucks and get you a Becky.
I thought it was Trader Joe's. Go to Trader
Walk
Joe's.
into Dos Salsas and get you a Angelina or Maria. And let's make the world a better place.
Hey, yo, what's the song of the week, bro? What's the song of the week? What's the song of the week, bro?
This is real.
This is real. What song?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Is it
know.
Work It or something?
Shout out to This Is Real.
This is real.
Yo, this is real. No disrespect, bro. Hey, we'll be right
You
back.
said it-
Welcome back to the Salt Society podcast. Now, what song was that, Connect?
That was This Is Real featuring Jarrell and Nino Salas.
Okay.
Watching.
Okay. No disrespect, man. Charge it to his head, not his heart. As you can see, our boy Jay Nice, man, he had to get up out of here. But man, shout out to my boy Jay Nice, the Kingdom Builder. Again, follow him online. Follow him on Instagram, Jay Nice the KB. Now we talked about some heavy stuff so far. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all was listening. If not, run it back, catch what we saying. But yeah, man. So we had the Jasmine Barnes shooting. You know, we had some craziness going on, but. Help me understand, bro. What's going on with Trump, man? What's up? We got government shutdown. We got Trump wall. You know what I'm saying? We got no income taxes. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, what's going on, man? Help me understand, because I know when it comes to all things Trump, you're a little more versed than me. You know, so.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a few things.
So let's break it down.
Break it down is first and foremost. The Trump wall, whatever you want to call it, is very necessary in my opinion, because I've been there, I've done that, I've got the T-shirt, and there is no wall in certain parts of the United States.
Facts.
It's like a little road barrier, and
Facts, like razor wire.
Not even razor wire. There's literally like metal poles that are put on the ground, and that's what it's. And there's a sign.
Wow.
There's a sign says.
U.S. border.
U.S. border, and watch out for snakes and coyotes.
Wow.
trying to deter people.
Wow.
The other thing is,
And
obviously,
before you be skeptical about it, you know what I'm saying? Pull up pictures and go
there
see
is
for yourself.
videos. I'll pull up some videos. We can see it on YouTube or
I'm
something.
gonna place it up on the screen right now. If you're watching right now, you should see. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
So this is our border. Like, look at this.
The other thing is the $5 billion is over. I think it was 10 years. I don't remember
Right.
exactly.
Y'all hear he want $5 billion. Y'all acting like he want it right now. Like.
Well, what the crazy thing is you got NFL stadiums spending $3 to $5 billion on taxpayer dime.
Talk about it.
And that's okay. We can buy Atlanta a Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Although the Cowboys,
Jerry Jones, Cowboy,
he paid his own.
Yeah,
so
he paid his
he was
own.
one of the only NFL owners to pay his own. So, and then
Big money.
and then the colleges spend billions on stadiums and stuff, and all of a sudden we think that
Right.
the border is like a big deal. It's immoral, or whatever.
So what you're saying is, so if as long as it's for our entertainment,
It's okay. Yeah.
it's okay. But when it comes to our security of our country, now
The funny thing about that, you're talking about entertainment.
why do you think people are so opposed to him? But keep going though, keep going. But
the majority
it seems unnatural, the opposition.
The reason why they're opposed to him because of that he's diming people out. He's exposing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's probably exposing. Really, for instance, Nancy Pelosi and what's the other guy's name? The other Democrat that's a House representative. Anyways, in 2009, they gave a speech saying they need a wall. Border security is a top priority.
Yeah.
But when Trump said it, it's all of a sudden end of the world, and they want to shut down the government over it.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like
Today he said he invited them to come talk to him, to his office, and then he said, "Are you guys willing to open the government if I get my wall?" They said no, so he walked out. Why waste his time?
Wow.
And then the other thing is people saying, "Oh, it's unethical. It's against the Constitution." You need to read the Constitution because the number one thing the president's responsible for is foreign relations.
Yep.
And security.
Security. Yep. Trump has said some wild stuff. I love talking. Talking to people. Like, it's like they are so enamored or so programmed with the media, you know what I'm saying, with the propaganda about Trump. Like, we're not denying, we're not sitting here and saying, hey, he hasn't said some wild stuff. Hey, but look, he's not the first.
Yeah.
He's not the first. Like, y'all love the Clintons, y'all love Bill, huh?
The Clintons.
His wife said we were super predators. If you look like me, you're a super predator. And her husband, they're responsible for the crime bill that has caused the mandatory sentencing that we just got legislation this year. Matter of fact, they just passed. Yeah, they just passed. So that was what, early 90s? We're talking 20, almost 30 years. So, like, if you're going to have this...
And this coming from the what they say, the first black president, Clinton?
So if you're going to fill away across the board.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that a little bit more when we start talking about R. Kelly. But like, if you're gonna feel away about Trump and like the wild stuff he says, keep the same energy for everybody. Keep the same energy for Obama. He did a lot to push the homosexual agenda.
A lot.
He did a lot.
That was his primary thing.
He did
LGBT,
the most, literally, literally, he did the most.
The army. And
so if you're a believer, if you're a child of God, and you're up in arms because you're black, and Trump, he said some crazy stuff. Like, for me, I just look at Trump and to me he's like a Bush with actual his own money and like. And he's like, in regard, I'm saying like in the saying crazy stuff. Because Bush always just has sound bites of him saying crazy. But Bush, that boy evil. Well, Bush, that family evil, man. But that's different. But Trump, he's just, like, people come from different cultures, you know what I'm saying? The way they say things, the way they express things. But then on the other side, we don't know, like, the stuff, the pressure he's under. We don't know the type of thing, like, he's getting up there. We don't know if he, right before he gets up there to talk, he may just not be able to talk right. He's not a politician. That's the thing. He's not no politician, man. This man, He's a working man. He's a billionaire. He comes from a whole different. He comes from a whole different thing. But guess what? He knows what's really going on all these people owe him. You know, he's not a fool as to what's seriously going on. So can you imagine the frustration of really knowing how corrupt people really are, and you know all these secrets that you've learned and all these government lies and stuff, and you really have a heart to try to make a change, and then every time they're just always trying to push a camera in your face, and every time you turn on the news, every news channel is non-stop, literally all day.
The other thing
pumping negativity about you. Like, I just want to give y'all that warning. Like, just consider for a moment. Like
the other thing you got to consider is he was a Democrat. Yeah. And he hung out with all these guys, and all of a sudden they're treat him like the worst public enemy.
Because he knows it. Like, just consider for a moment, like, if all of the propaganda of the media is united in pushing a certain narrative about a certain person, please, just consider that it may be the opposite. Like, there may be something about that. Like, come on, man, because if y'all haven't learned by now that the media tells lies, then I don't know what else to tell you. You know, just go look up 9/11 loose change.
They also they make Donald Trump look crazy because he says fake news. And
it's fake news, y'all. Like, stop watching the news. Listen,
it was before him too. It wasn't
stop watching the news. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, like these on a national level, these things that's happening. To be honest with you, you know, you would do your energy that you have in hopping on Facebook online and being in an uproar with Trump. That energy will be a lot better place at your local council town hall meeting. Yep. That energy will be more place with you researching what's going on in your city, going to these school board meetings, because especially if you live in we live in Texas, and guess what? A little nugget for y'all. Texas controls the narrative as it pertains to the educational system in the United States of America. You know why? Because
they buy the most
Texas
books.
buys the most books. So whatever books that Texas buys, the rest of the nation goes with it. So it's very important to really make sure we got the right people on the educational boards and making decisions about what's being taught. Because really what Texas teaches, the rest of the nation teaches. That's a little nugget for you. So put your energy on that. How about finding out that we got a Bush as the land commissioner here in Texas? Yeah. He's been the land commissioner for 8 years and we didn't even realize it.
Yep.
He controls everything. He controlling the permits. He controlling everything.
And the local government in Texas has the most power because the Congress and state representatives only be seen once every 3 years. On top of that, they only are in session for like 90 days or something like that. It's like it's
so
ridiculous.
So it's like they ghost. And then they in and out, like, and then they go again. For
the one thing I do give them props on is the state of Texas is one of the lowest paid representatives. They only pay them $7,500 a month, or not a month, a year.
Wow! So they really public servants.
Yeah, I mean, which if you really think about it, if you ain't at work, if you ain't in the state capitol doing your session, you should be working.
Yeah, you should be working a job.
You should be doing something. And most of them are lawyers anyway. So
they're lawyers, so they good. So from what I gather from you, you know what I'm saying, there is a real need for the wall.
Yeah, and also on top of that, the need for the wall.
So do you think the government shut down? Oh, no, say what you're about to say. So the need for the wall is what?
It's imperative because people say, oh, we are spending too much money. In order to do proper security without a wall, you would have to hire 3 times more border agents.
Wow!
Because you're so understaffed right now, and on top of that, the drones and all that garbage. I mean, what do you want to do? Shoot immigrant when he's coming across? We just we can look at him, but we can't do nothing to him.
We can't. Yeah, we just can't just be shooting people just because they're trying to get a better life. You know, like, so do you think?
But the other thing is not. You need to really do your research. You think all those immigrants walked all the way up here from Central America?
Right, come on.
There were busts up here.
Yeah, man, yeah.
And if they're really here for a better opportunity, why are they attacking our border patrol?
Right.
Not only ours, but Mexico.
Yep.
El Salvador.
Yeah,
all
like
of
don't
them.
like just what we saying is don't believe the lies.
Yeah.
Look me in my eyes. Listen, don't believe the lies, man. Like so do you think that him demanding that they meet him to terms on this, or the government stay shut down, you think that's valid? That's a valid stance?
Yeah, he said if they don't commit to it, he's going to declare natural emergency and use the military money and to do it. And
Wow.
he has the constitutional right to do that. So
Wow.
I mean, it's going to get built. And you guys are crying about it, but he said he was going to do that when he was running for president.
Yeah.
He's not done anything that he has said didn't say before. Like he's probably one of the first presidents that said, "Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this." And within 90 days, he did it all. He starts doing exactly what he's talking about.
But
You don't like him? Okay, cool. You shouldn't have voted him in office.
But let them tell it, you know what I'm saying? That man is evil. Listen, let me ask you this though. What would happen if people don't get their income taxes, bro?
They should have done their due diligence
Hey.
and then listened to my financial advice and not had to
Hit
pay.
her with the Kawhi, bro. Hit her with the Kawhi, bro.
I'm a fun guy.
Listen.
Hey, you shouldn't have tried to use the government as a savings account because you should have kept your own money because
facts.
same thing like those banks and
Talk
all
to
that.
'em.
Keep your own money. Like
Listen,
they
I'm
don't care
gonna
about
tell
you.
y'all right now. I'm gonna give y'all a free gym so that all of y'all can stop living your life.
The Fed is
for
rigged.
Tax. yeah. Y'all don't want to. Hey, listen.
We were just talking about that
Hey,
today.
the Federal Reserve System. Oh man, like that.
They have no oversight. They're a private entity, and they're.
God, bro.
You know what they said?
Oh my
they were,
God, bro.
They think that our country is growing too fast,
Bro,
so that's why they raised.
Federal Reserve, bro.
Oh, man.
Listen, the Federal Reserve is a banking cartel. Okay, it's a banking cartel. The
more I
Federal
learn-
Reserve is a private bank that the government of the United States borrows from. The government of the United States itself. This is just free game for y'all. The United States can be understood in 4 different categories. You have the United States in the political sense, the political influence and relationships abroad. You have number 2, the 50 subdivisions of the political subdivisions, which are the 50 states that make up the United States of America. Number 3, you have the geographical location of DC, which is the 10 square mile geographical location, which is considered the location of the United States. Peep that. And then number 4, you have the federal government, which is the United States Corporation. We are a governed body of people who are governed by an entity who sits in DC and governs us the same as an embassy abroad. So understand that it's only your social security number is the only thing. Oh man, I gotta give it to you. The social security number that you have is voluntary. If you don't believe me, look it up.
Oh,
Your parents didn't know.
that code
Yeah.
that I was showing you. Oh man,
Listen,
I forgot what the name.
Listen, your parents didn't know, so they signed you up. I'm battling right now because I got a son that's being born in a few months, and I'm still digging. I got a whole stack of papers at the crib. I've been investigating this. I've been investigating the Federal Reserve System, sovereign citizenship, and a few other things. But how that ties into your tax return, let me tell you. Listen, they told you when you first got a job, right, way back when you was 16, 17, whatever, to just put 1 or 2 or 3, claims for your allowances. But if you actually, when you get a job and you actually go through the document and actually fill it out honestly, actually claim your allowances, fill the document out exactly. Don't just put 1 or 2 and allow them to take 50% of your income. Because that's what it ends up adding up to when you just allow them, and then they don't give you, when you get your tax return back, you don't get all of the money they took all year. If you actually just claim all of your allowances, listen to me, claim all of your allowances. For most of us, if you don't make more than 6 figures, guess what happens? They don't take any taxes out of your check all year. And guess what happens at tax time? You just break even. You don't get a tax return back, but you get all your money all year.
And you can invest it
And you can invest it.
or
You'll
keep it in
actually
this.
see all of your check instead of you grinding for that check and then taxes taking 150. Man, the
I always
more you
tell
make, the
people-
more they take. Boy, you one time I remember I was working overtime and then they took like 300 in taxes out of my check one time.
I always tell people like you claim your exemptions.
Claim them.
And you think you would use that extra $250 for food?
Bruh.
You think you can use that?
Bruh, yeah, it's a game. Listen, it's a game. And if you don't know how to play the game, you're going to get played. But listen, if you do, hey, you get a tax return. Guess what? Listen, stop spending the money in your head before you even get the money.
Yeah, if you didn't have the money, you shouldn't have worried about it.
Listen, don't you know that if you and 5 other people, or if you and 9 other people, say it's 10 of y'all, and y'all all getting 5,000 each, right? So that's 50,000, and y'all live in the same neighborhood, same city, whatever. That's $50,000. Okay, $50,000. If 10 people got 5,000 each, and said they would each just put 2,000 into a fund that they were all going to use to do some business. Okay, now we got 10 people who each put in $2,000 each. That's $20,000. Do you know by the rule of 5 that if you have 5% of any loan amount, you can get that loan? You can walk into the bank and, credit and other things are important, but if you walk in with 20,000, guess what? You could borrow 100. Oh my God, I'm giving you game right now. If we all got 20, listen, y'all, if you don't even have to, if y'all just united together, put 20 together, went and got 100. Guess what? Everybody can get their return back right there. You get your 2,000 right back. You can get everybody get their 2,000 right back. Now we got 80,000 to work with. We can go invest that into some real estate, invest that into some rental properties, get some residual income, and now we're all part owners in this. And guess what we can do? We can go back and take that same 20,000 and do it again. We each can get a profit. You could double your money. You could come to somebody and say, hey, we put 2,000 in each, go borrow 100. Now everybody gets 4,000 back, and we still got 60,000 left to play with. It's a game. But guess what? If you don't got no UINTY, you're going to spend that check. Even if you don't want to unite with somebody else, do it for yourself. Take your tax return, invest it into some stocks. You can Stash app. If you're listening to this right now, go download the Stash app. It's a very easy way to invest in ETF stocks. You can also invest directly in companies. You can do it such as Tesla, Netflix, and many other companies. You can buy stocks directly through this app. It's right on your phone. You can do $25, $100, whatever. You can set it up automatically. There's vehicles to place your money, because if you do not put your dollars to work, you have to start thinking about your money. Every single dollar, you have to think like an employee. So if you got 500 employees, for example, who don't do any work, what are they gonna do? What would you do as a boss? If you have 500 people working for you, what you gonna and they don't do no work every day? They show up but don't do no work.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. This is what happens with your money. Because look, people say the answer is saving. Well, saving is cool, but if you don't save to invest, if you don't save to do something, life is gonna come for that money. And if you watch right now and you've ever saved up a bunch of money but had no plan or no vision of what you was gonna do with it, you can attest something happens. Tires, I gotta get some tires, and this happens.
Well, there's difference between emergency savings plan and then the savings.
Exactly.
You're gonna use that savings to do other stuff.
So we just trying to give game, because I seen a lot of chatter of people, up in arms.
Well,
about
they're playing into the whole narrative.
The whole narrative.
We don't get our tax return. You shouldn't have had a tax return to begin with.
You should, if you knew the game. Listen, the rich and famous, they're not looking. Listen, they go and invest in businesses. You know why? Because if you have a business, you actually get taxed on all of your money that's left over after all your expenses. See, people who work jobs, you get taxed before you get your money. People who own businesses, they spend all their money as much as they can. Everything is an business expense. If they have an in-home business, for example, their internet is a business expense. Electricity, their water bill, all of of this. So imagine if you actually started that business. If you actually went and got you an EIN number, it's not a lot. It's like $40 to get your own EIN number.
It's like one form.
It's one form. I'm telling you by experience. I run my own business and I have my own EIN number, and I can claim all of my bills as business expenses because I run my business from home. And guess what? So all your expenses are claimed, and then whatever is left over is the taxable income. So those that are making more money and running businesses actually get taxed less, because it's a game. And if you don't know the rules, so while y'all mad about tax returns, why don't we go and get financially educated so we won't even be caring? Because they don't care about you. They don't care about us. They could care less if you suffer, if you get money back or not.
Really, it's the education's out there. It's so simple.
It's simple.
Once you learn
hop on YouTube. Hop on. It's not an overcomplicated thing, and we already know the education system is not set up to give us this information for us all to come up as a people. And when I say as a people, I'm not just talking about black people.
Set up to have everybody equal.
Facts. So
they don't want people to excel.
We need, and I touched on what I want to talk about regarding that. I wanted to end it with just touching on this R. Kelly situation now.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that. I was trying to. I didn't know what it was at first.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck's going on?
So where'd you watch? First of all, because I was going to watch it. I haven't tuned into it. I really.
So I watched it on Hulu. It's on Lifetime actually.
It's on Lifetime on Hulu. I'm gonna have to see if I can pull it up on the Fire Stick, because I don't even got.
I think it's only on 4 episodes so far, but it's pretty disturbing. Like.
Yeah. So what? So break it down. Like I've been hearing. I mean, I've gathered the gist.
Basically, like every, what do they call them, survivors on there. Not victims. Every person that's come in contact with R. Kelly has had been abused by him, and he generally didn't date anybody over 17.
Wow.
So he met like these, like Aaliyah, for instance. Aaliyah, yeah. I didn't know like all about this.
Yeah.
He met Aaliyah when she was 14.
Wow.
And then they got married because she got pregnant.
Wow.
And they tried to cover it up. And
how old was she when she got pregnant?
17. And they lied on it and said it was 18. But you remember how she mysteriously got an annulment? Is because her parents came involved and told them, nah, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying like R. Kelly's possibly has something to do with her death, because when she passed away way too young, and then he wrote all her songs, and this is the crazy thing. Like go back to all his music, every song that he's either wrote or produced or anything has hidden messages about what he's doing. So like Aaliyah's song talking about going all the way. Mm-hmm. It's talking about she was trying to seduce an older man, trying to go all the way with him.
Wow.
And then so like he, everybody's all up in arms, but we've been knowing like he's been like this for a minute, because that was it. Dave Chappelle did a skit on it.
Yeah.
I mean it's pretty graphic on some of the behavior that he was doing, and he said that. He had these girls living in his studio while he was married to the other girl.
Wow.
And then he would bring other girls to his house, and he would control them so much like his wife couldn't go out of the room without his permission. Like
wow.
He manipulated and controlled everybody. Like it was crazy. So,
wow.
Yeah. So even more
wow
evidence going towards him is his brothers are on the show. Talking about how he's got problems, and then his road manager was so disturbed when Aaliyah got pregnant that he left, because he was like he felt like he betrayed and failed her parents.
But see,
because actually his road manager would go to the mall and pick up.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like all of these people. Like I'm gonna have to watch it now, really. Because like I say, I've seen clips, I've seen the narrative, you see the conversations and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So the gist of everything, I mean, pretty much everybody and their mama is talking about this. For me, I feel like everybody involved in this is implicit. Like, yes, R. Kelly is the main progenitor of this atrocity, right? Yeah. But if you are going to the mall, how are you any better if you going to the mall and picking them up for him?
Yeah.
If
he would
all
go
of
to the
you-
mall too.
Right, all of you who are been a part of this, that's what's disturbing about this whole thing to me. For one, not just R. Kelly, of course, his behavior inexcusable completely, but then two, all of the people that enabled this behavior for all of these years, who have never came forth, who have never exposed these things, who've not helped these young women be free, etc., etc., etc. But now y'all clearly, because I know y'all didn't do this special for free.
Yeah.
So now, for the sake of getting a check, you want to stand up? To me, that's not real. That's not honorable. Like you're a harlot.
But you're
You're a harlot.
I said R. Kelly knew there's going to be a lot of publicity about this, so he put a single out right before it started.
Wow. And that's a
to-
problem too, because I saw a news story that said R. Kelly streams have went up 16%
Yeah.
since the release of this documentary. But thirdly,
He was bragging about it. He's like,
Wow.
y'all too late now. There's
Wow.
40 billion people out there that love me, but y'all
Wow.
like he was bragging about it on live.
But the main thing is this though. Here's number 3, and this is the most disturbing thing. And this is really why we're here, why we exist as the SALT society. Drop bombs on them one time, bro.
Boom.
Guess who?
Bro, you silly, bro. Nah, for real though. This is why we exist as the SALT society, because we have to be a prophetic voice in this culture that's gonna speak the real. Like, if you want to be up in arms about R. Kelly, be up in arms about your favorite rapper and all these music videos that show our queens in a terrible light. Like, be up in arms about the porn industry. Be up in arms about movies that are vulgar. Like, be up in arms about the way that clothes are made and sold and the way that we dress. Be up in arms about yoga pants everywhere that be up in arms about the lascivious nature of our culture that allows this kind of behavior to exist and flourish for decades.
D1 said the exact same thing on his he did
Shout
a
out to
post
D1, man. One
like,
man army, man.
we're all
Threes up.
shocked.
Be real, be righteous, be relevant. You know what I'm saying?
He said we're all up in arms and shocked about R. Kelly, but we still allowing everything else to happen.
Man, I'm gonna pull up that clip. I'm gonna pull up that clip and play it.
Yep.
But like, we gotta do better. Like, we love to throw stones in a glass house. Like, it's easy. Like, he's an easy target. But I want you to think about your life. Like, for me, I want to publicly apologize myself for behavior that I have done when I was young and immature. I remember like back in 8th grade,
Just wilding out.
just doing just the most ignorant. Like, I remember I went and grabbed a girl's butt before, you know what I'm saying? At school. Like, and I know it's plenty of y'all that's done something like things. We've done these things. Where do we get that? We got that from the code. We got that from the rappers and we got that from that's unnatural behavior that we got from pop culture. So I want to publicly apologize for if I've done, because that type of behavior is what, you know, I'm glad that I grew up in a godly home, because that wasn't behavior that I was taught. I wasn't taught to act that way. If my parents would have knew that I did that, they would have beat me down.
They would have been like, what?
They would have beat the brakes off of me. And now, I think, even though that's not something as like raping somebody or something, but that's still violating a young queen's personal space. Like,
What kind of damage did you do?
As a father, like, I was convicted a couple weeks ago as a father. My daughter, she's 5 years old in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And she tells us in the car, and usually, I talk to her every day. How was your day? And this particular time, like, she tells us about an incident, like, the day after. She was like, oh yeah, yesterday at recess, such and such smacked my butt. I said, what? My whole... Yo,
It's not games anymore.
My whole energy changed immediately. I'm like, what? Tell that boy I'm gonna punch him in his face. Like, and you tell her if he touch your butt again, you punch him in his face. Like, I got hot. Just the thought of something, and she said it, and it hurt really bad. Oh, I really, boy, I was hot. Oh, I was hot. And instantly, God said, now imagine, think back to when you grabbed a young girl's butt, how she felt, and how that father would have felt if he found out, like, and it just broke me down. I was just, I went straight from being just, self-righteous dad, how dare somebody smack my daughter's butt, to, now look at you. And I guarantee listen, we could be all up in arms about R. Kelly that we want, but I challenge each and every single one of you to consider your ways. Like the Bible says, consider your ways lest you fall. And that's not to say that you are doing something now, or maybe if you are, cut it out, bruh. Stop going to that prostitute, man. You're violating her body. You're violating yourself. The Bible says you're sinning against your own body. Stop watching those. Stop supporting these rappers that promote lasciviousness, that promote promiscuity, that promote ambiguousness, that promote treating misogynists, that promote treating our women like they're just a piece of trash, just a piece of flesh, just to use for your own desire.
Yeah, I think I was telling you about that. I was listening to one of my favorite rappers at the time.
Yeah.
And I was listening to, all of a sudden, like, it just checked me, like, I don't stand for any of this stuff.
I don't stand for any of it.
Why am I listening to this mess? Like, it was, booty this, I'm going to do this. Like, yeah. And I'm just driving I'm bobbing my head to the beat and stuff, and I was thinking, I'm like, why the heck am I listening to this?
Why am I listening to it? Like, if you're going to have this energy, keep this energy, keep continuity. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't listen to the radio. I could not tell you, I have consistently not listened to the radio, really for years now. So I'm really never, I never know, social media is a great help to know, what new artists are, but I still don't know their songs. I couldn't,
I've just barely learned what's his name?
Man, I have to go and tune in. You know why? Because I feel it's death music, man.
Yeah. What's his name?
I can't be riding around listening to something that's completely contradictory to my morals, my ethics. I don't like my children be in the car with me. I ride around listening to things that I want my children to regurgitate. Like, I don't mind my children saying, oh my God, I woke up and blessing and thankful to God. I'm dripping in favor. Like, I'm going to play things that I know.
Artist Yali.
Go look that up. It's on iTunes. But listen, we have to change the narrative. We have to use our economic power. Stop putting our dollars in their pockets. Stop going to their show. Like, if you really don't like this behavior, let R. Kelly be the spark of a conversation, a spark of a movement where we say, you know what? If this is the kind of music you make, if this is the kind of stuff that you support, we not rocking with you no more. Start making these artists show up to shows and nobody's there. No tickets.
And if you want alternatives, we can give you plenty.
Plenty. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up. You can email us. You can contact at thesaltsociety.com. And while we at it, if you're an artist listening to this right now, or if you know an artist who should be listening to this right now, let them know that if they want their music posted to the Salt Society for free, we'll post it up there. If it meets standards of quality, we'll put it up on the website. We have a featured music section. We have a featured video section. We got a playlist on YouTube where we call it the Salt Reel. So we'll promote you for free as long as it's quality and as long as it's uplifting to the culture. You know what I'm saying? We'll post it. Send an email to submissions@thesaltsociety.com. Now, we do have opportunities as well if you want to, advertise. Like I said, we said it before, I just cover it again. I'll build you a one-page website that's within the site that'll have your picture, bio, music, shows, social media, all of that. It'll be updated monthly, $10 a month. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can help you promote your stuff. But we gotta change the narrative. So stop supporting these people. Stop supporting them economically and put your dollars behind people that actually are contributing to the culture, man. Because it's the truth of the matter is, it's a spiritual war. Consider your children. Consider the next generation. All right, because this is not a world I refuse to do nothing and allow my daughter to grow up and have to fend for herself as a woman in a world where R. Kelly's can thrive for decades and nobody do anything about it.
This guy was hanging out at the high school picking up girls.
And nobody did nothing about it.
No.
I can't imagine. It couldn't be me, bro. It couldn't have been me, because I was watching, shout out to Master P, you know what I'm saying? People was trying to come at him because he said, he said on Instagram, I watched the video myself, and I seen the interview he had on one of these shows, but he was like, look, if it was me, ain't no way I'm gonna know my daughter's in there, and I'm throwing rocks at the window or doing, no, listen, we going to jail. You going to jail now. Yeah. Hey, we going to jail. Something finna happen. It's finna be some furniture moving. You got my daughter in there? Oh, nah, you got my son in there? Oh, we gotta, something is going to be done, but you're not gonna have my child captive, and I know where they are, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do nothing about it. And I seen excuses.
They try to use that. He's trying to help her.
He's this, he's that. Like what?
Helping her get in the industry and blah blah blah.
Listen. If you know that your child is in distress, I don't give a damn who got her, who say they can't. What? It's like I'm doing everything I can. And I damn sure am not going to be on no Lifetime documentary. Like, it just, something don't sit right to me about the whole thing. But at the end of the day, we have to kill the culture that allows this behavior to thrive. We have to. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we love to hear your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The video, this is on YouTube, Facebook. We want to see your comments, likes, share this. Please subscribe to the S.A.L.T Society. Just type in the S.A.L.T Society podcast on YouTube. It should put it right up. While you're at it, I got a daily vlog, daily Yali. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can check that out on Facebook and YouTube. We definitely got a lot of more music coming, but check out the website, like we said, www.thesaltsociety.com. Again, follow me on Instagram at YaliIam. That's YALIIAM. Follow my boy DJ Connect at DJ Connect. That's KINECT. But hey, it's been wonderful. It's been a great podcast. Shout out to my boy Jay Nice. He had to go, but we in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Next week, listen. If you listening to this, man, next week. We plan on trying to incorporate some kind of way for y'all to call in. We might do a Facebook Live right on the podcast with a couple of people. So just be tuned in, Q&As, whatever. So just be tuned in. We getting back into the flow of things, but what we not gonna do is we not stopping.
Go Cowboys.
Hey, oh yeah. And finally, after a long 22-year drought, drop balls on airport, all of that. The Cowboys won a playoff game.
Yes, they did.
Round of applause. Bro, how the America's team and ain't won a playoff game in 22 years, bro?
Hey, that's how much clout we got.
Wow. They haven't
good.
won a playoff game since the days of Jimmy Johnson. Wow.
Well, no, Barry Switzer.
Oh, okay.
It was Jimmy's team, but yeah,
It was Jimmy's team.
It's all
Jerry
good.
Jones, you messed that one up.
It's all good.
The Bears kicker, he had one job. Y'all pray for that boy. Hey,
hit it not once but 2 times.
It's your boy Yali, man. S.A.L.T Society Podcast, episode 8. We out of here, man. As always, be loved, be present, be grateful, be positive. Peace.